so today we are pairing a Saison sour aged strong beer that's called Propolis from Brasserie DunHam out of Quebec, Canada, with a delightful fall dessert, apple crisp. Very simple, very easy. As the cool weather was hitting, we were like, what sounds really good right now? Well, some warm apple crisp, right? So visually, it's really exciting to look at. It's crispy, it's golden, the apples kind of pop, and then of course the beer is absolutely beautiful. It's this bright golden color. It had a beautiful head on it. And it smells amazing in here. The cinnamon and the brown sugar really just like comes through right at your nose. So I'm really excited to get into it. We're expecting a lot of complementary flavors, and then since the Saison is barrel aged, we're hoping that sour kind of comes in at the end there. Ready?
We're ready.
All right, super excited for this bite. It's warm, the apple is tart. It makes it sweet because of the sugar that's in there. This smells more like a sour on the nose, but there's a floral from the Saison. Oh wow. Yeah, super complementary to one another. The honey and the little bit of malt in there is really bringing out the sweetness of the apple crisp, the cinnamon, the sugar. And then I feel like at the end, that sour is kind of cutting it, almost like cleansing my palate. It's really bright, lingers at the end. I feel like if you needed a dessert to finish off the night, maybe it was a soup night, maybe it was a squash night, I feel like this is that perfect fall pairing that it's low ABV, it's easy to drink, it's light, it's effervescent, it's full-bodied. The flavors just really just compound like all in your face. It's marvelous.
That's a big bite. Bigger bite than I meant it to. The cinnamon, tartness of the apples, the little crisp on top, nice and sweet. The oatmeal. Yeah, okay. So for me, the honey from this really pops the cinnamon. I'm getting a lot of the cinnamon on the end. You're right, it totally like kind of cuts out that buttery heavy at the end, which for better or worse. The honey also helps kind of sweeten because these are tartar, a little bit more tart on the apples. And so the honey is sweetening that up a little bit too. I get a lot more Saison on the nose than I do of the sour, personally. It's like very Saison-y to me. But the smell of that with next to like, you can get the oatmeal and cinnamon are just like amazing in itself. Like, I don't know if I've had one of our meals like smell complement each other as well as this has. Apples are cooked perfectly. Yeah, to me the heroes are the cinnamon and the beer and the honey. It's very complimentary. I'm gonna, I flicked off some of my label. Very complimentary in their flavors. Not a lot of I can't
Contrast.
say. Very complimentary. Not a lot of contrasting flavors. It's really just elevating everything together. The beer itself has a great nose to it, good head retention, give it a little swirl and it pops right back up. And the honey goes perfectly with this meal. Like, you're right. Like, it literally is like a perfect pairing together. I don't know what else to like. It's all complimentary. It just goes together absolutely fantastically. I think I would have liked to see the oats pop a little bit more from it. And the beer didn't do a ton of that because the cinnamon and the honey popped so much. I was actually kind of expecting the oats and the honey to like pop, but I think the cinnamon kind of overpowered that a bit. But that's okay. It's freaking delicious. And this is fall in a nutshell. Like, I couldn't think of a better fall, especially like early fall like this where you're still having the warm days. So you want something light and a light beer, but kind of get those wholesome flavors. It is like perfect season for this. Would definitely recommend. Get some flowers while Liz is chowing down.
Like the beer is just so light and so easily drinking, where it actually makes the dessert a little heavier. And I think I've always thought of apple crisp as not a heavy dessert, right? Because it's not like a pie where you have to get through the crust as well. It's basically a deconstructed pie, right? But because of the sugars and how they break down the apple, they kind of create that layer of goo at the bottom of buttery and sugary deliciousness. And then you get this guy. And it really just like, as it complements, I almost like think of it as a waterfall. It's like complementing, contrasting, and cleansing the palate as you swallow it. Very good. Damn it. And I love the honey too, right? Like, honey is such a fall thing as well, right? Well, it's happening throughout the entire bits of summer, but you're kind of like harvesting your last bits of honey towards the end of the year as the apples fall out of the tree, right? Everything is kind of starting to die or go into hibernation, you know? I think it's a fun, beautiful representation of the sweet that kind of falls before it comes back in the spring.
It tastes good and it's metaphorically beautiful.
Only if I had a shag carpet to lay upon it.